So my next reason to not study for both of these certifications at the same time is that you will cover more ground by studying one at a time. So I would say focus on one certification, master that certification, pass that certification, then move on to the next. So that aspect would be, if we're just talking about these two certifications, I would say if you're very new to anything IT, if you're very new to it, I would say go for that Network Plus first. Focus on that Network Plus. Come up with a study plan for that Network Plus. And then as you start tackling your study plan, you start moving through those exam topics of the Network Plus, and then you take the exam and pass it. So now you can take that and move on to the next certification. That way, instead of going around in circles, you have a plan laid out, and you got a goal, and you can see the end of the finish line. Because when you're studying two of them, it's hard to see the end of that finish line at the end of the tunnel. So when you got one, you're able to come up with that plan and start attacking them. So you can focus on one, then move to the next. Now, some folks may say that I'm just going to jump directly to the CCNA, which that is possible. For me, I went directly to the CCNA. Back then, I don't even think I even knew about the Network Plus. I might have heard of CompTIA, but the CCNA was the only thing on my mind. And that was because I was in the classes for the CCNA. So even though I didn't know nothing about, I knew about IT, I knew about PCs a little bit, but I didn't know nothing about the networking aspect. But by me being in those classes every day, Monday through Thursday, or Monday through Friday, me being in those classes, and that's the only thing I'm learning is networking. And then on top of that, we had the equipment in the classes to where I can go and practice whatever we just learned. So I was able to handle that as my first certification. So I'm not saying it's impossible to just start with the CCNA, but if you're someone that, if you're not in a class and this is totally new to you, I would say go for the Network Plus, or even better than that, you got the CCST networking, which is an entry-level cert by Cisco. So I would go for either one of them. I would say the Network Plus or that one. And then, like I said, as you start moving your way through it, like I said, you're going to build up on it. You're going to build confidence, because once you go through that Network Plus and you pass it, you're going to move to the CCNA. And now some of that terminology that was formed before, you're going to have a little bit of understanding of that terminology. So you're not coming into the CCNA from ground zero. You're coming in from the CCNA, you're one step higher now because you got that Networking Plus, which is going to help you out. And then also, by doing them one at a time, I would say that you'll achieve both of them faster than doing them both at the same time. Because when you're doing them both at the same time, like I said, you're spending a couple hours over here, a couple hours over there, couple hours over here, couple hours over there, which is going to take a long time to add up to when you complete both of them, instead of just spending that. You stated that studying for 5 hours. Instead of spending that 5 hours on one topic or on one vendor certification, you can go on down that list real quick. If you're spending 5 hours a day, roughly, I would say probably in a month or two, you'll probably be ready to test for the Network Plus. You'll probably be able to test before that if you're dedicating 5 hours a day, because 5 hours a day, that's 35 hours a week. So that's a lot of studying. That's a lot of that's being hell of a consistent there. And then that's a lot of determination and ambition. So my hat goes off to you if you're able to study for 5 hours a day. It's not impossible. I've heard of a lot of people studying for more hours than that. So it is possible, especially when you get that hunger. You may have that hunger where, okay, your back may be against the wall and this is my way out. I know that this tech thing, I know that there's something on the other end of the tunnel. So a lot of times when you get that hunger in you, you would go past the limits of what you thought you can go on. So you can do that 5 hours, because I know that, okay, I'm going towards this certain goal. I'm trying to get in tech. I'm trying to move up in tech. I'm trying to get out of that help desk role. I'm trying to get off them phones. So a lot of times something like that is what's going to fuel you. So if you could do 5 hours a day, I would say start with the Network Plus if you're a total beginner. If this is totally new to you, work your way through it, because 5 hours a day, you're going to blow through that Network Plus in no time. And then once you pass that Network Plus, get that certification, that's going to put that battery in your back. Now you can go ahead and move on to that CCNA and go ahead and conquer it and achieve it.